Okay, so today I'm going to do something that I haven't done for a while, and that is unbox a brand new smartphone. And today I'm going to be unboxing the brand new Honor X8a, phone that was released back in February, and from what I can see there hasn't been a huge amount of coverage on this phone, at least here in the UK. So I'm just going to unbox the phone now, see what it's like, run through a few of the specs, and then do a full in-depth review on the Honor X8a in about a month or so after I've had a chance to test it out. So if you're interested, stick around and let's do it. Okay, so this is the new Honor X8a. I apologise about the shadows over here as I've got new lighting in my room, and I'll try not to kick the tripod too much. So the Honor X8a was released in February of this year. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure on whether it's a upgrade over the standard Honor X8, but you get your standard white box with a picture of the phone and then Honor X8 on the side. The phone here in its little plastic sleeve, I'll just set that aside a minute, and then a packet with some of your paperwork, and unfortunately no clear case with your SIM tool, and then your charging brick with 22.5 watt charging and a USB-C A to USB-C cable. So I'll just put that together and dump that aside. That's the boring bit out the way. This is the exciting bit, the Honor X8a. Wow, that is shiny. Look at that. That is pretty cool. Although that's now left a nasty sticky bit on the back, so that's not ideal. I'll get rid of that at some point. Okay, so this is the Honor X8a. Pretty sizable camera hump on the back. Let's hope it performs better than the standard Honor X8. 100 megapixel main camera, which is this one up here, and then you get a 5 megapixel ultra wide and then a 2 megapixel macro camera, and then of course your LED flash. So I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope for the 5 megapixel ultra wide. It didn't perform particularly well on the X8 or the X7, but I'm hoping that that 100 megapixel camera is going to perform a little bit better than what I found on those other two. Do you know what? I just can't get over how shiny this is. So on the right, of course, you've got your volume buttons and your power button with integrated fingerprint scanner, USB-C port, microphone and speaker grill on the bottom, microphone and what looks like an IR blaster on the top, and on the left is just your SIM tray. The phone is on. I didn't turn it on, but nevertheless the phone is on, and as you can see, it's a pretty sizable display. It's a 6.7 inch full HD display with a 90 Hz refresh rate. So let's just go through a few of the setup bits, and then I'll come back when I've got it all set up. Okay, so I've just got the phone all set up. Haven't put any of my apps or anything like that. I've just literally signed into my Gmail, connected to the Wi-Fi, and that is it. So I'm just going to go through a few bits on the phone itself and then call it a day and have my full review hopefully in the next month or so after I've had a chance to test it out. So as you can see, aesthetically it's very similar to other Honor phones with its magic UI, and if we just quickly jump into the settings, drop down to About Phone, and then it's running Magic UI version 6.1, but unfortunately it's running the older Android 12. Scroll down a bit further, you can see it's running the MediaTek Helio G88, a mid-range chipset that can be found in the Motorola G Stylus from 2022 and Realme's new C55 that has just been released. 6 GB of RAM with Honor's RAM Turbo, which will take an extra 2 GB from the storage to boost your RAM up to 8 GB. And then you've got 128 GB of onboard storage, which unfortunately is not expandable. And then of course you've got a 2388 by 1080p display, and this is running a 2022 security patch. So I'm just going to quickly, out of curiosity, go to System and Updates, Software Update. We'll see if there's anything new that comes up. It is saying that it's up to date. Whether it's something that might come down the line, possibly. Hopefully I'll have the phone still when that happens, but I may not. But of course, let me know down in the comments if you end up buying one of these phones and it gets software updates. So yes, overall, bog standard Magic UI. It has got a few preloaded games on as well. A couple of preloaded games, and then things like booking.com, trip.com, TrainPal, all of that other crap. Bog standard Facebook is on there, Netflix, TikTok if you're into all that, and then Google Apps installed as well. I'll just quickly jump into the settings a little bit more and go through some other bits. Of course, you've got Wi-Fi to select your Wi-Fi network, Bluetooth, mobile networks, more connections. So you've got NFC. I'm just going to turn that off because I never use NFC on an Android phone. Honor, share and link to Windows, wireless projection, printing and all that stuff. Home screen and wallpaper. So you can go onto themes and change the theme of the phone depending on your taste. And then you can change the home screen layout with the icons, and the home screen style. You can add an apps drawer, which I'm going to go ahead and do now once it stops having a meltdown. And then of course you've got all your apps there ready. So then of course sound and vibrations, notifications, all that stuff. So you can turn off certain notifications of certain apps if you don't want them pestering you. Individual app settings, which you can do on all of the apps on the phone, individual settings, etc. Battery information, battery percentage next to the icon. You can put it inside the icon if you want to. More battery settings, smart battery, so charging to 80% and all that sort of stuff to help save your battery's health. Storage information, letting you know what bits on the phone, so like images and videos, how much of your storage each of those individual things are taking up. Security, which of course is got all of your security updates and all that sort of stuff. I won't go into too much detail. Privacy, microphone permissions, camera permissions, all that stuff. And biometrics and password, that's what I was looking for. So of course you can set your fingerprint scanner on the phone. So let's add fingerprint, we'll see how quickly it... Of course you've got to do the usual, moving your finger around so it reads all parts of your finger, or thumb in this case. And now you've got to do the edges. A little bit of haptic feedback every time that's done. And we're all done. Face-up recognition, no, it won't bother doing that. So then, it's pretty responsive. It's not the quickest I've used, but it definitely does the job. Of course, face recognition is just going to be the front camera taking a 2D image of your face, so it's not going to be as secure as the fingerprint ID. And then of course using a lock screen pin, etc. So that's just the main software parts of the Honor X8a. If I just jump into the camera, enable location tag, why not, using the app. So you get the main 100 megapixel camera. What have I got that I can put down there? Let me have a look. I've got my little horrible shutter sound. I'm definitely going to get rid of that. Not the worst I've seen. Let's see if the ultra wide is any better. Of course, this is just a couple of little samples. I'm going to test it out in a little bit more detail ahead of my full review. And then you've got video mode. You can jump into the settings for that, change the aspect ratio, video resolution, and it's topping out at 1080p there and 30 FPS. So 1080p at 30 FPS is the maximum resolution on this. Change the aspect ratio if you want to. Efficient video format, I'm not going to bother with that. Jump into more and there's a few extras: Pro mode, panorama, HDR mode, time-lapse, stickers, super macro, dual view, high resolution, story. So there's a few extra bits there. You've got portrait mode, a night mode and aperture mode if you want to really get into your changing the aperture for the depth of field and etc. And then up front you get a 16 megapixel f2.5 camera, which still allows a few extras as well. And you can, night mode, apparently not on the front facing camera. But yeah, so again, I'll test that out in my full review. And then just quickly flipping around to the main camera again, you've got Honor lens, which will recognize QR codes and all that sort of stuff. AI mode, which will of course recognize snow apparently in my worktop. And then it will of course boost colors of the greenery or the sky or anything like that. But again, all that will be in my full review, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that out as well. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's just my quick look at the Honor X8a. Aesthetically, I mean, it looks decent. Of course, it's made of plastic, but that's of course to be expected on a phone at this price. 189 quid is what I paid for this phone. It's got some nice flat sides, of course, again, made of plastic. A relatively quick fingerprint scanner, a nice full screen display with super thin bezels around the outside, apart from the bottom there. So yeah, first impressions aren't too bad, but I have found with other Honor phones that I've used, overall use of the phone has been really great, but the camera lets them down. So I will find that out with my full review. So like I said, be sure to subscribe down below if you're interested in seeing that full review when it goes live. I've also done the Honor X8 and the X7, Honor Magic 4 Lite and Honor 50 on my channel if you want to check those videos out as well. So thank you for watching this unboxing and first impressions of the new Honor X8a, and thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.